He wasn't guarding the bottle. Everyone in that house was about to be wrong about that for 4 straight days. Priya Okafor had been a NICU intake coordinator for 9 years. She had triaged more crying infants than she could count, and she trusted her ear for it. The difference between hungry cry and something else cry. That trust was about to work against her. Pepper was a rescue spaniel mix, 6 years old, the kind of dog neighbors described as a little shy but sweet. He had never once shown interest in food that wasn't his. So when 8-month-old Amara started refusing her afternoon bottle, and Pepper planted himself directly beside the bouncer seat and would not move, Priya noticed. He wasn't just sitting there. He was staring at the bottle on the side table, then at Amara's mouth, then back at the bottle in a slow, deliberate loop. When Priya's husband reached for the bottle to try again, Pepper let out one low sound, not a growl, something stranger, and stepped between his hand and the table. He's resource guarding, Priya said. She'd seen it in training videos 100 times. A dog that had never guarded anything in 6 years, suddenly guarding a baby bottle, the day the baby wouldn't drink from it, the pattern fit too well to ignore. By the second day, it had gotten worse. Every time Amara fussed, Pepper appeared instantly, nosing at her chin, refusing to let anyone approach the bottle without stepping in front of it first. Priya's mother, visiting for the week, said what they were all thinking out loud. You cannot have a dog acting like this around a baby. Something in him has shifted. That was the sentence that decided it. That night, Pepper slept in the garage. He scratched at the door for 3 hours. Then he stopped. The silence, Priya would later say, was worse than the scratching had been. On the 3rd morning, Amara wouldn't finish more than an ounce of formula, and her cry had changed. Thinner, more effortful, like she was working for each breath between sobs. Priya told herself it was teething. She'd seen 100 fussy babies. This felt different, and she pushed the feeling down anyway because the dog was the strange variable, not the baby. If you're the kind of person who notices small things that don't add up, you're going to want to stick around for stories like this one. Subscribe so you don't miss the next. By that evening, Amara's lips had a faint bluish tinge at the edges when she cried hardest. Priya's training finally caught up with her fear. She called Pepper in from the garage without thinking, pure instinct, and he ran straight past her, straight to the formula can on the counter, and pawed at it until it fell. The lot number matched a national recall issued that morning, a manufacturing fault causing dangerously low iron content in that specific batch, triggering feeding refusal and mild respiratory distress in infants under 1. Amara wasn't guarded from the bottle. She was being protected from what was in it. Dr. Elena Marsh, the pediatrician who saw them within the hour, put it plainly, another day on that formula, and we'd likely be talking about a hospital admission, not a phone call. She had seen 2 other cases that week, both flagged by family pets before the parents noticed anything. Has your dog or cat ever done something that made no sense until it was the only thing that made sense? Tell us below. These stories deserve to be heard. Priya sat on the garage floor that night with Pepper's head in her lap. Not resource guarding. Scent detection. Something in the formula his nose caught long before any recall notice reached their inbox. Not defiance at the door. A dog trying to get back to his post. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe so you never miss the next one. He came back inside for good the next morning. He walked straight to the kitchen, sat beside the counter where the recalled can still sat unopened, and didn't move from that spot for the rest of the day, as if some part of him needed to see it thrown away himself.